So, if you go anywhere and know anything about faith, you probably have heard one hymn above all the rest. And that hymn of late has been Amazing Grace. Whether it's the new version with Amazing Grace, My Chains are Gone, or it's the old Amazing Grace, the one that was even before the last verse, which was added much later. I'm Pastor Nathan Decker, and this is hashtag Better Together in Devotions, and I'm so glad you joined in. I hope you'll click share and like and follow as we together journey into deep wells of our hymns to learn about how to be spiritual and how to understand a little bit more about who we are. So, what is it about this song, Amazing Grace, that makes it so amazing? Well, for a lot of folks, it's the history behind it. Amazing Grace was written by a former slave ship captain, a man who had spent his entire life, imprisoning others and sending them off into slavery and enslavement and a horrible life. And later on in his life, as he was losing his eyesight, he began to take on the faith and realized how horrible he had been as a human being, and he became an Anglican priest to try to rectify his life and give his life to God to try to pay back for all the ills and wrongs that he had done. That's why that I once was lost, but now I'm found. I once was blind, but now I see is so gripping as words when we hear that in the song Amazing Grace. But there's more to this song than just that. This song speaks of God's love that taught us first to fear and taught us also that God accepts us. And this is grace that leads us through the toils and snares of life. This is grace that leads us beyond this life into the next. This is the grace that shares with us. For me as a United Methodist, we are all about grace. Grace is so important, and Amazing Grace is a hymn that has got such deep theology, and in its simple common meter, a very deep tune that is recognizable everywhere. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. The hope that Amazing Grace offers to us teaches us over and over again that we are called to God. We're called to be together with God, and we're called to be better together. Today, think about Amazing Grace and how Amazing Grace is still flowing today from God's heart to ours. Grace is here with us. God's divine action in your life. Go with God, my friends, and make peace in the world.